Hi guys and welcome to the episode.
As you've seen from the title, we've got some news. We are selling Alba and moving on to our next chapter in life. So we have been living abroad for 5 years exactly, and it's been an amazing adventure, but we are ready to move on and start other adventures in other different areas of life.
Yeah, we've had an incredible 5 years on Alba. We actually never thought we'd be on her for this long, really. So it's got nothing to do with the fact that we're fed up with boating or anything like that. There is so much that we still love, and so much we'll always be boaters. But yeah, as Marina says, we're just kind of ready for the next chapter, really. So yeah, very much look forward to seeing Alba off with a new family, off for new adventures.
I think now would be good to kind of do a recap of our 5 years on Alba, because I undergone an evolution in that 5 years. So looking back to 2019, early January 2019, we were purchasing her. Yeah, I was a very different person, and I feel like boat life taught me so much. This is not just a boat, and it's not just a home. Living on Alba, we became boaters. We studied a completely different lifestyle. Originally we moved in together. Alba was a place where we first moved in together in London, and we both had full-time jobs, and that's what we thought we're going to do. We're going to live in London and do a few years on a boat, probably 2 years. That's kind of what we thought. Not that it was a goal, but that's kind of was a general idea.
We had no idea what the pandemic was going to do. First of all, we were able to work from home, which hadn't been a thing prior to the pandemic. And when the pandemic happened, obviously, we thought, oh gosh, we don't want to be in central London. So we started moving out every other week as we needed to get water. And as you saw, we started the channel. You saw our lives. We had no expectation of actually living the kind of boat life that we ended up living, and it's fantastic how the world has changed, and this kind of lifestyle is so much more accessible while holding, say, a 9-to-5 job, which I do as well. So yeah, as you saw, we kind of travelled the southern part of the country, from the Midlands all the way through to Oxfordshire, to Gloucestershire, down to Windsor, and all the way up to Bath. Yeah, we've had an incredible journey. There are so many things we're going to miss about living on a boat. Just being so close to nature, really kind of feeling the seasons. It's Baba duck time, so there's loads of baby ducks. The bats, if anyone remembers Barry. So yeah, it's been a fantastic chapter in our lives, one that's been greater than we could have ever have imagined, and hopefully, we've helped to inspire friends, family to do the same, and maybe some of you guys as well. And for all of those who do live on a boat, it's such a unique experience. Appreciate it may not be for everyone, but yeah, being sort of dynamic, thinking outside the box, becoming an engineer, becoming search and rescue, becoming a litter picker, or a professional at bumping into things. What's great about Alba as well is that you've got 4 years of her life, week by week, all the highs, all the lows, the reality of living on a boat, all the bumps into bridges, all of the repairs from those bumps, servicing, new heating, new solar, decorating. She's the best she's ever looked. At the moment, she's looking absolutely stunning, and will be a great home to anyone.
We consider ourselves as guardians of Alba, and we did our best to look after her and improve her in many ways. So I really hope that the next person or family who will live here will do the same, because she's really special to us. We even try to inspire our friends and family to possibly buy her. So we keep her in the family, but as things go, we are ready to let go and move to a new chapter of our lives. And I guess it's challenging to let go of a personality of a boater as well, but I think in my heart I always will be, and same as you. There's so much we've learned, there is so much we've discovered, developed. I don't know, boating is a lifestyle and it's a community, and it's a very unique way to live life, and I will never forget it. But we also will search and continue our life. We will continue exploring and adventuring and doing other things that will connect us with this passion and this lifestyle.
Yeah, I don't think selling Alba is the end of our boat journey. Alba was just, say, our first boat. I'm sure that we'll have another boat at some point in the future. Maybe not as big as Alba. But yeah, she'll always have a very special place in our heart.
Yeah, we would like to explore sailing. We would still be doing boating holidays. An interesting thing about living on Alba that I can't explain, but I guess it's just a feeling, is when we lived here, we rarely wanted to go on holidays. It's like living in nature, so close and connected with beautiful views and peaceful, serene environment. Really doesn't, it kind of there is a sense of satisfaction. Didn't really go to too many holidays in the last 5 years, so it would be nice to explore the world and see other countries, and yeah, adventure in a different way.
So we've seen some amazing places, haven't we? And had some really surreal experiences. I think one of the highlights of our trip, somewhere that kind of captured our hearts in many places, was the Thames. Goes without saying, we absolutely loved in the summer doing river life. From Port Meadow up in Oxford, probably is one of our favourite spots overall, to Pangbourne. But yeah, living on the river, being able to go for a swim on your lunch break, being able to catch crayfish, catch your lunch, was really great. And being immersed in such a broad wilderness, natural wilderness, has been fantastic. Not to take away obviously from the canals as well, there's so much sort of serenity and charm, particularly in the winter months on canals. Very cosy, quite smoky, and always sort of nestled in some idyllic village somewhere. But yeah, the summer on the Thames has been one of our highlights, and a pretty spectacular place to live.
Yeah, we've seen some beautiful, and we had so many lovely experiences that you just don't get unless you are living in the middle of nowhere, whether you're camping or whatever. But we've seen amazing animals, we've seen insane sunsets or sunrises, swam in the water, rescued animals, and also convinced quite a few of our friends and family to buy boats as well. Not that we like specifically advocated for it, but people would come over, stay, and just get their own boats afterwards, because this is such an amazing life. When we moved on Alba, the idea of getting Alba, we didn't know anyone, not a single person. We just risked it and we went ahead. Some of our parents weren't that massively into it and thinking, what are you guys doing? How the hell are you gonna live on a boat in winter? But we just risked it. We bought the boat, and then after, I don't know, 2 months or something, we actually had to go to a canal festival so we can just meet other boaters and ask them loads of questions about boating and like how to use Alba, because we didn't know how the inverter works, we didn't know how battery worked, nothing. We literally didn't know anything, and still, yet with zero knowledge, we went for it, and obviously it paid off. But for someone else, for the next person who's going to be Alba's guardian, we know everything about her, so we obviously will share everything with you, so you don't have any surprises.
I think there's an interesting point there. I think anyone who's thinking of buying a boat and doing this lifestyle, you will be thinking, am I mad? Is this the right decision? You know, could this be an absolute disaster? And I would say no. No, you're not mad. No, it's not a bad decision. And could it be a disaster? Well, life can be a disaster at any point, but will it make you a more pragmatic person, a more handy person, a more can-do person? Yes, definitely think so. Will it make you someone who values community a little bit more? Yeah, I think very much so. That sort of art of chatting to a neighbour and asking for sugar or a spanner or some jump cables, you know, really brings people together. So everyone's kind of looking out for one another. I do think boat life, or particularly inland waterways, canal boat life, is one of the best kept secrets. Although we've not been very good at keeping that secret, is one of the best kept secrets because it's such an accessible form of boating. It's such an accessible form of travelling, especially if you know, need to maintain a job at the same time as well. We've seen people of all ages, you know, from people who've retired, solo boaters as well, all the way through to, you know, first homers as well. So it's a really accessible lifestyle. It does require work. It does require you know, a certain type of person, can-do attitude, but also the kind of person that sees silver linings in even a rainy day like today. There's still so much like beauty and sights, sounds and smells to kind of take in. But yeah, if you can handle that and handle the toilet, then you got it. You got this. You got this.
Yeah, it's for a type of person. Life on a boat requires extra time and extra work and extra energy than just living in a house. But it's also, for example, if you ever wanted or dreamed of living in nature, living off-grid, living away from everyone, you could try that without having to buy a massive piece of land, or I don't know, you know, it's kind of like a small investment. Try before you buy. I mean, we have learned so much about living off grid that if one day in the future we ever manage to have land, we'll be so prepared. We know exactly what's going on and what we need and what we don't need. So it's a really good way of trying before you're buying, but also being on the boat, you are surrounded by boaters and community. So if anything goes wrong, you have people to rely on. You're not in the middle of somewhere with no help.
So as you said before, living aboard Alba, we never kind of expected this kind of lifestyle, and I think a big part of that has been Marina setting up this YouTube channel and creating these vlogs every week. We talk about community, but actually doing vlogs and, you know, sharing the highs and the lows with people has probably been some of the best kind of community sort of experience interactions. We've made some fantastic friends along the way, many friends, whether just viewers or patrons or boaters in between. It's really been very enriching of our experience overall, and you know, just thank you for the support. Watching every week, you know, it really does make a difference to being able to put these videos together, but also to encourage us to carry on sometimes, even in the midst of painting a roof or sinking our dinghy. Again, some of the comments probably needed before we painted the roof the first time, but we did it twice, so yeah, we captured all of that there. But no, thank you, really thank you. It's been very surreal as well, you know, meeting people on the towpath and jumping straight into a conversation and thinking, have I met you before? Oh no, right, okay. But no, it's been very lovely and humbling as well. So thank you very much, and especially to our patrons who, again, having, you know, regular annual calls and Zooms with our patrons, again, just fostered another deep sense of community. We cherish those very closely. Started out in lockdown, and actually over the years developed some really lovely friendships. So, you know, we'd love to stay in touch with all of you guys. So this is us tuning out for not the last time, but for the last time in a little while.
Yeah. We are saying goodbye to the vlogs. However, it doesn't mean forever. If anything changes or if we feel inspired, we can still make some videos, but no promises. There's not going to be any more regular videos from now on.
We may actually do a few updates when we do any other kind of boating holiday.
We might, yeah.
So maybe like once a year there could be a special. So hopefully we'll see you guys there, but thank you for following us on our journey.
Now we're going to give you a quick walkthrough to show you Alba inside, but next week we are going to have a video out with full detail, full tour, all of the details, electrics, anything you want. However, if you want to get in touch and arrange viewing, we've got a listing link in the description below, so you can have a look at her in real life. Thank you so much for watching, for all of these years, and for all of our supporters, and especially to our amazing patrons who made this happen, made these videos, weekly videos happen, because otherwise we would have stopped a long time ago. So thank you so much, everybody, and yeah, I'll see you next week.